Hi Michael, I know you asked a lot about your future then. You've obviously brought a coaching staff with you as well, and I'm guessing those guys probably want some kind of clarity. They're all at different stages of their careers. Have you spoken to them, or have they spoken to you about what the summer might hold? Do you kind of envisage staying together as a coaching group, or have you had to have chats with them about what might happen this summer?
No, listen, we're very close, even though we came together specifically for the role here. We're all very clear in terms of what it looks like. It's not something that we need to overly discuss, to be honest. I think we're all on the same page. We know it. It's pretty obvious, you know. I keep saying the same things in some ways every week, but it is what it is. And when we're all right, we're fine with that, and the coaches are fine with that.
Whatever happens, would you like to carry on working with those guys, kind of wherever it might be?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you connect with people and you get on and you work together and you work well. And for me, it is all about people, you know, whether that's players or staff, whatever, supporters, family, whatever it is. I think it's connecting with people is really important to try and get the best out of each other. And I have to say, the staff have been top class, absolutely top class in different ways, different personalities, different roles. But to come together in a coaching office, that's not much bigger than the desk, to be around the desk day in day out when it's new and it's fresh. It takes a lot of effort, but credit to everyone. You know, it's been all but positive, I have to say, since we kind of come together in January.
James?
Michael, obviously there's like a lot of talk about what might happen to the midfield this summer, but just at centre back, obviously Harry's obviously signed a new deal. He got two young defenders in Lenny and Aidan Heaven. Just on Martinez and De Ligt though, so Martinez has made like 62 starts in almost like 4 full seasons. Now he's not been on the pitch enough. De Ligt's been out since late November. Is that potentially, particularly if you end up in the Champions League next year, is that an area of the pitch you might have to look at in the summer, or an area of concern? And can you also just let us know what's the latest on De Ligt?
It's not an area of concern for me at this moment in time. Again, at the moment and timing wise, talking about the summer and what goes beyond that, I think it's difficult to kind of elaborate on that really. But Leach is actually missing games for a different reason at the minute, which I don't know, we won't go into, but I understand why you're asking it. I think, but no, I haven't got concerns. I think we've got a mixed blend there of experience, of real quality, and some young, I'd say more than talent really, two promising young players that have already shown what they can do. And I thought Aidan was fantastic last week, and in such a difficult game. So I haven't got concerns as I sit here. What the future looks like, I can't really get involved because I'm not sure myself what that looks like. But and in terms of Mata, he's working towards being fit again. Really, you know, he's a little bit on the grass, and it's progress. But there's not much else I can. You know, it's one of those injuries and it's rehab, and he's working to get fit. So we're hopefully to have him back as soon as possible. Really, there's not much I can add on that.
Sort of anything like surgery or anything like that, you're not going down that route?
He's back on the grass at the moment in a small capacity, but he's working towards it, so that's positive. So yeah, we're all hoping that it keeps going in that direction.
Jamie?
If you qualify for the Champions League, which you may well do you think you could win it next season with the right investment? Because you know you are Manchester United.
Jumped ahead quite quick there, haven't you?
Well, I mean,
no, listen, we're living in the moment.
Right, well, what's the point?
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Listen, we want to be there, right? Of course, we want to be there, but we're not getting too ahead of it both ways, you know. And we understand as things can go right, things can not go to plan. So we know where we are. Last week was a big result for us to put us in the position that we are, but nothing's done yet.
With regard to your scorers, you haven't yet got anyone double figures Premier League, but you have got 3 or 4. Well, I think it's 5 players, 9 or 8. Does it matter not to have sort of, you know, whoever it is, a scorer, I don't know, mid-teens, high teens? Is it sort of changed now? It doesn't really matter, or would you like to have, I don't know, an 18, 20, by the end of the season, 18 or 20 goal Premier League person? You know,
yeah,
that many.
I mean, there's different ways to look at it. Sometimes to have one and scoring an awful lot of goals certainly can help in some ways, but then not so much relying on, but not expecting one player to just produce the goals. I think being able to share it is for us is a good thing. a good thing, that everyone's capable of doing it and chipping in, and at some point someone hits a bit of form in a purple patch and has big moments, and it comes around a little bit. I think we've got good flexibility within the team for that, whether that's set plays, whether that's transitions, whether that's in and around the box. We feel like we've got a good mix, so I'm okay with that. We'd like to score more goals, of course we would. We'd like to concede less goals, football, right? But I think the balance that we've got and sharing the loads is a good thing.
Samuel?
Hi Michael, I don't know if you noticed that the VAR in the City Arsenal game at the weekend was the same as your game against Leeds last week, where he's deemed Lissandro's minor hair pull to be a red card, but Gabriel's headbutt on Haaland wasn't deemed to be a red card, and it feels like most people thought he should have been sent off. Is that another incident where it's particularly frustrating for you, where there's that inconsistency?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to comment on other games. I think it's and other teams and other individuals. I don't think it's right for me to get involved in that. I do think there's been some instances that has made it more difficult to understand how Leach is suspended and continues to be on.
Sorry to interrupt, the Calvin Bassey incident last week.
There's other instances, yeah. Listen, I don't want to get involved in it. I don't think it's fair for me to comment on other teams genuinely, but it does make it when you see other things in and around it, for the offence that was allegedly committed and the punishment that's come with that. I don't think it fits it at all, and I find it hard to understand, I have to say.
And just on a separate note, I think this is going to be the 7th evening game you've managed out of 13. The club have had a lot of evening kick-offs this season. Do you sympathise with match goes? I know the club aren't in Europe, but does it feel like there have been too many of them, particularly given the travelling support the club have and the amount of people who go to home games?
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand the difficulty of getting to games at times, and for different reasons, for transport, for purely on timings and throughout the week. I understand that it's not something that we can always control, but and this season and certainly since I've been here, the schedule it's been a little bit unique in some ways. So, but I totally sympathise with the supporters. I have to say the support last week at Chelsea was special in the moments like that, and hopefully they enjoyed that. They seemed to, and we did certainly. So we'd like a little bit more of that. But it's, yeah, without doubt, there's a lot of sympathy for the supporters and the effort and everything that they have to give us to get to games.
Chris?
Well, just on De Ligt, obviously it's a difficult one because you're not quite sure what's going to happen with him, but given there's only 5 games left now, is it fair to say that he won't play again this season?
I wouldn't say not at all. No, I'd like to think, I was certainly hoping that there's a chance that he can, without putting any pressure on it or deadlines on it. Of course, it's something that we're working towards, and he's working towards as well. So, hopefully it's the case, but there's certainly no pressure of overly to get him back. He needs to come back at the right time when he's ready.
And obviously there were some comings and goings this summer. From his point of view, having not played for so long, are you still happy that he has a big future at this football club?
Well, again, like I've just said, I think we're talking about the summer and beyond. I think it's difficult for me to sit here and make judgments and comment on that. We just want him to get back fit. I think as any footballer, to be out and missing football matches and not being able to train is a difficult time, and it's probably one of the toughest times that you go through as a professional. So obviously we're helping him through that, supporting him through that, and trying to get him back as quick as we can.
Laurie?
Hi Michael. I believe Jim was in at Carrington this week. I just wondered if you had a chance to talk to him at all. Obviously there's plenty to discuss at the moment. Yeah,
he came in. We had a chat, we had a cup of tea, and casual chat, to be honest. It was nice to see him, showing his support obviously, and yeah, that was it. It was quite informal, but it was nice to see him.
It feels a good thing to have an owner that is connected and can be across what the current situation is, right, at Carrington.
Yeah, I think as a football club we're hugely connected, and all the way through. I think it's a big part of. I'm really conscious of that. That's how it should be, and I'm trying to do my part with that as well as everybody else. So I've felt that since I've been here since January, for sure.
Finish with Ian.
Hi Michael. Just how important is it for a club of this to be in the Champions League every season? Not just obviously from a sort of financial point of view, but also just the prestige? And is this the sort of club that should be in the Champions League most, if not all, seasons?
It's certainly where we want to be. We've had some success in the competition. We've had some great occasions and great nights in the competition, and it's without doubt where we want to be. I think you can never take for granted and just assume that's where you should be. I think that's part of football and performance, where you need to earn it. Simple as that. You need to earn it. At the moment we're in a decent position. There's definitely, there's hopefully more to come as well, and we want to keep pushing. But I think it just shows you how difficult it can be to be at the top, to stay at the top, to live at the top. Champions League's definitely where we want to be.
And you've said in the past that you're kind of involved in discussions about the summer, whatever your future may hold. Presumably, are there two sort of sets of plans dictated by the finance of whether or not you're in the Champions League?
I think that, like anything, planning and moving forward of what it could look like, I think you have to be ahead of the game and not be caught by surprise or reactive. What them plans look like, obviously. Some of the discussions I've been part of, some of them I'm sure are going on and fair to make plans and make the best of whatever happens next season, whatever happens in the summer.